This is the What's Next podcast, Houston's #1 platform where I invite creatives to share their journeys and give us a depiction of their visions. Most importantly, the last question I'll ask is, what's next?
Jeremiah 29:11 says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future." Dear John, the iconic legend Quincy Jones said, "To know where you came from makes it easier for you to get where you're going." Sean Diddy Combs said, "Everyone has challenges and lessons to learn. We wouldn't be who we are without them." If 2018 and the last 6 years taught you something, it's that anything is attainable with the right focus and determination. Continue to build. Continue to promote your vision. Continue to inspire creativity and make more creatives. In closing, Nas said, "No idea is original. There's nothing new under the sun. It's never what you do, but how it's done. The first chapter of your vision's movements is done. However, you're still a visionary. Peace and blessings. John Ross."
Yo, it feel like 95, Sachi on my body, Biggie, Jigga, Puffy, all that ballin' is a hobby, and I'm wildin' in my body.
Houston, Texas, welcome back to episode 41 of the What's Next podcast, a production of Still Visionary Inc. My name is John Ross Dike II, and listen, I got my man in the building, one of the creators of this song. Well, let me turn that right back up. I'm gonna turn that right back up. Let's get it. T.O. Double, man. Man. Yeah, we might as well start the festivities off right, man. Oh, to a great episode, man. I love you, dog.
Cheers to
Oh
you,
my
bro.
God.
I'm loving this energy, dog. It's so positive right now. I need to be more around more positive energy.
Listen.
I think.
Oh, welcome.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
No,
Thank you
I'm
for welcoming
serious.
me.
Welcome.
Nah, I'm serious too. Appreciate it.
Listen, what I like to do, let's get the formalities out the way. Let's introduce our social media handles so we don't disrupt the flow of the conversation when we get to that point.
But I'm Things with Todd on
Okay.
Instagram.
Okay.
And then just Todd.
Okay.
In real life. Yeah.
Listen, Houston, Texas, I'm laughing so hard because this is, by the way, my name is John Ross Dike I, and you can follow me on Instagram and on Twitter at John Ross Dike and still _visionary. If you would, connect with me on LinkedIn, subscribe to my YouTube channel, like my fan page on Facebook, and visit my website at stillvisionary.com. I got all the paraphernalia in front. Shop stillvisionary.com/apparels. Listen, Houston, Texas, I got one of the closest friends that I will ever have sitting to my right-hand side. Like I said before, this guy produced Overtoast, the song that I made, this episode, this podcast song, theme song. My man Todd Louis here. I don't mean to put your whole government out there like that, but I got to express and explain what you and the Niceguys did to me, for me as a creative in college. We're gonna get through all of that.
Yeah, for
right?
sure.
We're gonna get through all of that. But like I said, man, welcome to the podcast.
Appreciate it, man.
Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, bro. Like,
I'm sorry to cut you off because I'm so excited about talking
yeah.
to you. If there's one person I wanted to talk to on this podcast that I had to talk to on this podcast,
you know this was gonna happen. This wasn't not. Gonna
It was
happen.
you.
There was no way this could have not happened. Even though I'm like one of the flakiest niggas on the face of the earth. Fuck, you gotta own it. First step is admitting that you have a problem.
Yeah, I just knew that I wanted to talk to you on here. I wanted to get your story. I wanted to vibe with you. I wanted to connect on this new platform. and I wanted to just have a great time. I'm ready to talk.
Yeah, let's do it.
You know, I'm ready to talk.
In.
So, like I said, man, Houston, Texas. The song that I play at the beginning of every episode, Over Toast, was produced by this man to my right-hand side. How are you, man? What's going on with you?
I'm cool, man. I'm chilling. I got little sniffles, man. This weather is kind of stupid, so it's confusing to my allergies. Yeah. So I've been sneezing all day. I ate chicken and etouffee today for lunch. That was pretty cool.
You know, when I was putting things together, I wanted to say to you, you should really think about voice acting.
But you know, it's funny. I've heard that more than once.
Yeah.
I was in an Uber the other day, and this guy, like my Uber driver, he kept commenting on my voice. Like he said it 3 times. He was like, "Hey, man, you make a really good radio voice." I was like, "Oh, that's cool. I appreciate it." And then, like maybe 4 minutes into his job, he was like, "You know, you should really look into that radio voice thing." I was like, "Okay, I'll do that." And then, like when I was getting out of the car, he was like, "Hey, man, radio voice." I was like, "Bro, you fucking creep." God. So yeah, but no. I think it would be funny. That or like be a choir in a choir. And be in Kanye's choir, Jesus choir. The bass.
Listen, as you can imagine, Houston, Texas, man, I got the giggles, I got the chuckles because this guy right here, we came up together.
Yeah, actually, just to be fair, JR was actually one of the first people that I met when I came to Houston because the first semester that we were at U of H, you know, Sean P being my roommate, we were from Beaumont.
Shout out to Sean P.
Shout out to Sean P for sure. Call that nigga if you get into an accident because he will figure it out.
He is a lawyer.
He's an attorney.
Yeah.
So Sean P was my roommate from Beaumont. Moved to Houston with us, lived in the towers. That first semester, we were kind of like recluses. We didn't really come out of our rooms that much, or even our floor.
Yeah.
But you were. I don't know if you were working the desk that first semester. You were working the desk that first semester, and I would see you around, and you were just always like a real, just like energetic, like you know what I mean, dude. And then I think after I started working at the desk, maybe you got me that job.
Yeah.
I think you did give me that job. Or somebody.
We had that thing jumping,
bro. And really, dog. To be honest with you, you were kind of the gateway to me meeting literally everybody I know in Houston for the most part. Like, think about. Because when I first met you, then it was Cosmo. Remember me, you and Cosmo, and then it just Mike and Phil, and then it just kind of just literally just branched off into everybody.
Yeah. We used to take those. We used to go to Chacho's off West Top,
bro.
with a rod. Who's called? Yeah. Them college days,
bro. Dog. Yeah, man, we were talking about that the other day, dog. Like either that or like I remember, bro. Like when I stayed in Cullen, dog. Me and Cosmo would literally hit up Taco Bell every night. Yeah, it was just. It was so collegey. Yeah. Except I still do that. Oh.
No, you don't. But like I was saying, you look good, man.
I appreciate it.
You look really. When I seen you, I hopped out the car and I was like, "That's my boy Todd." I ran up to. I had to give you a hug, man. It's been a long time.
Just, get the flu, man. Drop some pounds. Eat some soup. Here, flu diet.
But you look good though.
Appreciate it.
So, like I said, man, I remember 2000. When did the show come out?
The show came out 2010.
2010. I remember. 2010. Was it that late? 2010.
Yeah, it was 2010.
Okay, I remember. I remember when you first started.
Yeah. Okay. In y'all's apartment.
I remember when you first started. So this is what we'll do. So creativity comes from experiences.
Yeah.
Okay. You move from Beaumont to Houston, right? When did you graduate from high school?
04.
04. Mm-hmm. So we meet around that time.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we move out of South Tower.
Mm-hmm.
We move out of the Towers. We move to Savoy, and then we move to 2111.
Yeah.
And then you stay with us for a while.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's start there. I remember leaving that morning. And what did I say to you that morning? Do you remember what I said that morning? I said something like,
it was inspiring.
I said something like, yo, make a beat or something. Can you? Yeah. Oh, that's what it was. I said, can you make the Lloyd Banks Until the End of Time beat?
That's
I said, can you make the Lloyd Banks Until the End of Time beat?
Dog.
And then I went to work. And then I come back and let's start from right there.
All right. So right there is literally the moment that JR is talking about is literally when I had a computer, I had a laptop, and I had. Wait, hold on. Let me.
No, look.
Let's get this on.
Look, this is real. Hey, I don't.
Let's get this on. I don't. How do I? Wait, okay, here it is. We're good. Stupid phone. No, but it was that day, man. Because interesting enough, before I even get to that point, let me just say a lot of moving pieces to this. Because at the time, a lot of successful people that you've actually had on the podcast, like Mike and Phil. Me and Mike was sleeping on the floor in JR apartment and JR and Phil's apartment. Yeah. Shit, and it was funny because Mike's air mattress didn't have air in it sometimes. You talking
about that was Cosmo brother Mike. We talking about Mike.
No, I'm talking about Mike You Walk By.
Okay.
Yeah, bro. So it's me, Mike You Walk By, staying on you and Phil's apartment. And next door, strangely enough, was Hobart and Rod. I don't know how that happened.
Okay. That was, apartment 108.
Yeah. So, but no, man, it was but no, with the beat though, you kind of just challenged me. It was damn near, and I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll try to do that, even though I didn't know how to make beats at all. I was just trying to formulate some drum sounds and stuff like that, and then I picked up on it, and then I want to say I had the skeleton of something decent when you got back, enough to me able to be able to press play, like listen to this. But I legitimately made my first beat ever in your apartment.
How long did that take?
Man, like hours, bro.
Yeah.
Like just sitting there toying with it. Man, I wish I could still find it, bro. It's probably so trash. Like looking back, God, I wish I still had it. But nah, I'll never forget, man. Just after class, because really once I started making beats, bro, like I was just like, fuck class.
Yeah.
I mean, it just all kind of just like went downhill from there once I got pretty good at it.
Yeah. So why did you start with the drums in that particular instance?
Because since I was like replicating a song that you asked for, the Lloyd Banks song, I don't know how to play keys and stuff like that, and I didn't even know how to sample at the time or anything. So the easiest thing for me to do was to at least try to figure out what the drum pattern was, the BPM was, and stuff like that. Because you know, I realized, man, me hopping into music was just I had no clue about BPMs, nothing. I had no prior experience. Yeah. So I just kind of like learned from. Just you know what I mean? It was just everything. Like I learned from everybody, even if they weren't producers, just people that were like music heads like yourself, and just conversations just kind of like molded my style of particular beat making. But the drums, but that was the only thing I knew how to do.
Okay. You played drums in the church when you were coming up?
No.
Okay.
What? That's what I'm saying. Like no,
because a lot of people do. Like my wife, she can play.
Yeah,
she can play. If you need her to 1-2-1-2 in the church, just to carry the choir along, she can.
Bro, I can't rub my stomach and pat my head at the same time. My nigga. That's a tall order. So you know, but I mean, like I said, that was the only musical experience I have is sampling.
Okay,
just listening to all. You know what? My sample knowledge is pretty on point.
Okay,
I know a lot of samples.
So I come back that evening. You have that beat done, right? And so I remember we moved from 108 to 5304. All right, and then you go. Doesn't matter where you go, but how do you go from?
I moved back to Cullen.
You moved back to Cullen.
Yeah.
Okay, and then how do you go from Todd, the guy who was on the air mattress and created the beat, to the super producer that I will call you and refer to you as?
Well, I mean, I thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Man, really just kind of keeping myself around people that inspire me to do. I mean, this shit sounds so fucking cliche. Goddamn.
But it's the truth.
It is the truth, though. Yeah. But it just literally just hanging around like-minded individuals. I mean, everybody that was in our circle at the same time, including yourself. I mean, we always kind of had bigger goals than like what was just expected of us from home. Like, you know, never in a million years that I think I would leave Beaumont, and because I was supposed to be an architect major, you know, and I went to
I remember
on that whole thing.
You could draw,
all that stuff, man, and that just wasn't really my passion, and it's like that very first time I made a successful beat, because as a person that's always been a fan of music and listening to music and appreciates music and the way it sounds and the way it makes you feel and shit like that. When you possess the ability to create that as well, and then listen to it as if you didn't create it, it was like a kind of a mind-blowing experience. So the first time that I actually made a beat that I would listen to as if it wasn't me, I was like, shit, you know, because I used to just sit and listen to Ninth Wonder beats, mixtapes all day, Little Brother and shit.
Yeah.
Because I figured, like, man, if I could at least get like this, like, you know what I mean, that's a good start. So for me, just like Ninth Wonder was a fucking hell of an influence on all of my beats. But it actually took me a while to kind of jerk myself out of that, because for a while, bro, it was just.
I saw that. Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, I saw that in the beginning, because so coming from Beaumont in 2004, who would you say musically you were on at the time?
Jay-Z.
Okay.
Jay-Z. I mean,
we used to have those battles all the time. Do you still think Jay-Z is the greatest rapper of all time?
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm gonna censor that.
Oh, yeah. But there's definitely some others at the list now at this point. But back then when we were arguing,
day and night.
Day and night.
Understand
man.
it. Day and night.
Like I'm gonna just name the names of the people that it would be like me, you,
Trey Rogers, Roger Polk.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shu.
Yeah.
Drew.
Yeah.
Phil.
Yeah.
Mike. I mean,
Sean
P. I mean, just
everybody was arguing.
Crazy hours of the night, literally arguing about who's the greatest MCs, Biggie, Jay-Z, or Nas. Like, but it's like, damn, we really do that shit for real, like, with no end in sight. No, there's no convincing me that Nas is a better rapper than Jay-Z. Period.
Yeah.
I don't give a So, but
we had ciphers, lyric battles, everything,
everything but study hall. and homework.
Everything but money to for endorsing. Everything but money for endorsing.
Real shit, bro.
So
FIFA Street.
So you're producing beats now.
Yeah.
Okay. This is because we've moved a little forward past 04. This is around 2008.
Yeah. So around when I get pretty good at it, when I actually find my footing in it, because I dabbled in it for a while, but I want to say when I made the first successful beat was probably like around 2007, 2008.
Okay.
That's when we were living in Cullen, and I had linked up with Greg's brother, Free, because of Cosmo at the time was like my cousin's coming to U of H.
Yeah.
So, just like, all y'all African niggas is cousins and shit. So he was like my cousin, and it was like, all right, bet. I ain't know.
Yeah.
So, linked up with Free, and then, because I fucked with the beats that he made, because really I actually met Greg first before Free.
No doubt.
Because Greg, which is funny enough, Greg actually used to make beats first.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know that. And his brother used to take pictures.
Yeah.
But Greg was definitely a producer way before he was a photographer.
Yeah.
And
they switched roles.
They switched roles.
The inverse happened.
Yeah. And then, but no. So really, what it was that I think we linked up with Eve, because I coming from Beaumont, to me, like a local rapper or somebody that was rapping in their basement or in the studio, it was never good.
Mm-hmm.
So my perception of a nigga rapping and putting out an album or a little mixtape was always trash.
Okay.
Not to say that everything that I heard was trash, but everything that I heard was trash. You know what I mean? So when I got to Houston, I think I met Eve, and then he came and Free had moved into U of H at the dorm by that time, and excuse me.
So Houston, Texas, while he's putting the story together, we're talking about the same guys that I have for the intro song, the Niceguys.
Oh yeah, the Niceguys
is who he's talking about as the formation of the group.
Yeah. So just long story short, man, Eve walked in the room because Free had a little studio set up in his room.
South Tower.
Yeah.
South Tower.
Yeah. South Tower. And we didn't know Eve at the time. We just knew he was just like a party nigga around campus, just partying and shit.
Used to hoop and do all of that in the rec and all of that.
Everything but go to class, I would assume like. Yeah. Then it turned out that nigga actually knew how to rap really good.
Yeah.
He came in, but he didn't know how to like write hooks and shit. So I want to say that seeing him rap that good, like kind of really kicked me in my ass to just like kicking up a notch on the beats.
Yeah.
So I like made a beat. So I was like, here, you should rap on this too, because he had never really rapped on original beats either.
Mm-hmm.
Sent that to him, and then like the rest was just like, let's just keep doing this.
I remember, man. And the thing is, man, I love you so much, and I love y'all as a group so much, and the individual so much, because, like I said, the Nice Guys for me, because at the time I was doing poetry, but it wasn't on a level where I'm in Houston every weekend at a certain spot. It was on a level like whenever there was like some kind of event happening.
Oh,
I
remember your poetry days. I remember your poetry days, dog. And you know what? I was there for it, bro. I was there for it. Cause man, I'll tell you one thing, bro. Like one thing about you, like you would not let, cause we would always talk shit about that. Like, you know what I mean? We just like sneak Jared on the poetry night, snapping the shit. You didn't give a fuck. You was just like was there for it, man, and I admired that. Like you still with it. And
it was one of those things where it was this, man. We grew up watching and hearing about the legendary groups. Mm-hmm. For me, initially it was Bone Thugs and Harmony, right?
Me too.
And then it became Mobb Deep. Mm-hmm. Wu-Tang later on, Mobb Deep, G Unit, Dipset for you. You were the one that really put me on Dipset. You and Kaz.
Super heavy.
And then Wu-Tang in there, but Southern rappers, Bun B and Pimp C.
Yeah.
Okay. SUC. Goody Mob, Pimp Squad in Atlanta, man. So watching you guys form, man, I said to myself, man, we got the modern day one of those guys, right? Watching y'all rap, watching y'all grow, and y'all really came up. You know how J. Cole came up in the college scene? That's how I saw you all
in the college scene.
That's how I saw you all coming up in the college scene, and it was magical.
Enrolled in school, like I mean, still. Like,
well, we're going to class every day. You guys are making beats and making music and rocking the campus.
Sorry, Dad. Sorry. So to my parents who paid out of pocket.
Mine too.
Sorry, Dad. No, but I mean, but you know what though? So here's my take on college, right? And from my college experience. So my parents won't know that it was a complete waste, because at the end of the day, what they paid for was experience and just situations, right? So granted, let's say you go to college and you go to college for 4 years and then you drop out, whatever, you drop out just short of finishing, right? Just because you didn't get your degree and what you went to college for. But at the same time, though, you link up with somebody, start a little creative agency, and then y'all get shit popping there. Or then you start a video agency and you do something there. But you met those people in college and in the dorms. So who's to say that's not like a form of a degree technically? You know what I mean? Just because you're not getting a piece of paper from a university. I mean, shit, if you're making X amount of dollars per year,
doing what you love
to do, and that craft was created on that college campus per se. So, like in my case, I mean, obviously I didn't graduate from college with an architecture degree, but if I didn't go to U of H and meet those people, then I probably wouldn't be making beats. I probably wouldn't be doing, you know what I mean? My whole trajectory would be different. So that was definitely a blessing in itself. Just meeting your ass, just everybody, like all of us being in that same place and that same, just like trying to find our footing in life. Because when you really think about it, most of the people that we came up with, if they don't have degrees, they're definitely very successful in doing something that they, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, at the end of the day, just do what you like to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I remember, like I said, man, I listen to a lot of podcasts.
Yeah.
Right. And the podcast, I would say my number one podcast outside of, by the way, if you're watching this episode right now, you need to stream my homegirl Asia Munn's podcast, Stories and Poems, on SoundCloud, Spotify, and on Apple Podcasts, right? But I listen to the Joe Budden podcast, and they reflect a lot about music and the formation of it. And they really talk about the guys that are the guys that are always in conversation. And so when I started music managing, I wanted to model, and I wanted an artist to model the journey behind those people that had made it.
Yeah.
Because the people that are underground, we acknowledge them, but they're not the ones changing the culture.
No,
right?
not at all.
So I remember with the Nice Guys, I remember looking at you guys and saying, damn, I just want to be involved any way that I can with you all.
Man, I don't know if you know, but when we first started, you were actually a pretty heavy influence on, probably more so than you know, on the actual music itself, to where I want to say it. I think I brought up trying to get you to manage us at one point in time.
Yeah.
And I think I asked you, but I think you were just like, man, I don't know if I'm ready to do that or something like that.
Because I don't think I was.
No. And I don't think you, I mean, shit, we weren't even a full group yet. We were just kind of like walking before we could crawl at that point, because it was just like, shit, look, JR is like, because really, my nigga, you're one of the most passionate people about stuff I've ever seen in my life. So when you go hard about something, you go hard about it. And that was just something that's like, we would like that. But I think you would.
Go ahead. Keep going.
Yeah, but you were definitely like, I guess, I don't know what it was, but you were just like, nah, I'm not ready.
Well, you don't understand the cultural influence that y'all possessed at U of H.
Yeah.
You were our Mob Deep. You were our Goody Mob. You were our, I'm talking about,
That's tight. Appreciate that.
I'm not talking about the kids that didn't go to college. I'm talking about the kids that went to college, and we were all, because everybody in college, you all know each other.
Yeah.
If you don't have to be Greek to have known the Niceguys. The Niceguys were known by everybody, and we all we partied together, we stayed together, we hooped together, we walked together on campus, we lived together. So the Niceguys were of the college scene.
Even
right.
Think about the apartment like 265 at one point in time. I mean, shit, you damn near had like niggas in every fraternity like living in one dorm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the Alpha, Omega, like a Kappa. Well, I mean,
shout out to all of them.
Right? Yeah, I mean, it was just kind of like niggas was just chill, man. It didn't even matter what it was, as long as you were just a cool, like-minded individual. I mean, I think that was the thing, and we couldn't really put our finger on it, but I mean, that's why we all just kind of just meshed together so well.
Listen, you guys were so influential that I said to myself, there's a difference between hearing music, right? Mm-hmm. that you know nothing of, that you don't know how they made it, you don't know how they formed, you don't even know the guys. It's a difference between me hearing Nas's records, Jay-Z's records, but then hearing the Niceguys records, guys that I know.
Yeah.
Like Todd lived with me for a certain period of time. I remember when he started making beats, right? Yeah. So when you guys dropped the show, all right, for me, everything stopped.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? So much so that right now I'm thinking about, I remember hitting you up and I was like, yo, Todd, I need music. I need score music for I need score music for this web series that we're doing. Yeah. And I remember, being so broke, being, not having the resources. That's something we lack in Houston. Yeah. Not having people that I know that make music, that I recycled somebody so many times on that web series. Bro, I recycled that track over and over and over again.
A funny story about that song.
Yeah.
And, so when we were recording that song, Wire Road, the first one before.
Do you mind if I play that song right now?
Yeah, you go.
I'm gonna play that song right now. Go ahead.
So we were recording that song at Wire Road, and so I produced that song as well,
of course.
And I wasn't thrilled with, like, it was one of those beats I made, and I was just like, you guys check this out. And then it was like, oh hell yeah, it's going on the album for sure. And I was like, oh okay, I didn't think it was that cool, but so I just wasn't like a fan of it. So
hold on, stop. Listen, let me big you up in this moment. Let me give you your flowers in this moment. That record was so hard.
And so
that record was so hard. I remember my business partner in Visionary Movements. Shout out to my man. Right, I remember saying, we got to put this song right here. Yeah. And when he heard this song, he downloaded it right then and there.
So it was for whatever reason, bro. I don't know why. I look back and I was just, man, I don't know what I was thinking, but bro, when I say that me and Eve got into, basically, it was just kind of like one of those. He was like, it's going on the album. And I was like, I don't think it's going on the album, right? And then one thing led to another. Nigga, we started throwing. We fought over that. Like, we actually fought each other.
Listen, the way
over that, and the only reason it was on the album is because, like, he was way more passionate about it being on the album than I was being off. But we actually fought in James Kelly's studio, damn near broke his mixing board, all of that shit, just because over that song. Because I didn't want it on the album.
I want to take the time now to say this, right? And I wanted to save this for that LP with Leland, right? But I remember, and I'll say this again when I talk to him next year or whatever, whenever that time comes. I remember hearing this kid sing because he did the talent show. He did the talent show that we did at U of H in 2009, right? And I said, listen, you need to fuck with the Niceguys. And listen, Todd, let me tell you how real this is. I'm gonna take the gloves off.
Yeah.
I don't normally cuss on this platform because I know I tell my kids to watch this episode all the time, or on my podcast all the time. But I remember hearing him sing because you remember it was a girl that went to Lamar that won that talent show that I tried to manage back in the day, right? And so I remember hearing him sing, and I said, "Hey, you need to fuck with the Niceguys for real." And you remember me calling you time and time again, like, "Listen, hey man, I'm trying to bring this guy to y'all. I'm trying to bring this." Where was that apartment that we brought him to? I remember it was one of those things, Houston, Texas, where I was single at the time, and if I was single right now, I was like, "Yo, we finna get the bitches tonight."
Yeah, like,
you know what I'm saying?
And that's, bro, it was. What was it? Oh man, it's actually
it was right. You were living over there with was it Sean?
Villas of Coronado.
Yes,
Villas of Coronado.
I remember he was giving me so many excuses. Like I was like, "Yo, drop all that shit." Like, what are we talking about here, man?
That's what I'm saying, bro. It speaks to your passion because you wouldn't, like, the records on that project. You were directly responsible for making those happen because if you didn't, I'm not gonna say you forced the interaction, but you definitely facilitated it. You know what I mean? You definitely like put two people. Well, you definitely put him to our world and brought vice versa, whereas that normally wouldn't have happened. And you. I want to say you definitely were the person that linked a lot of people, bro.
I'm telling you, man. Like one thing that
more
I
so
cannot.
Than you think actually.
I don't want to take credit for that,
Yeah.
right? One thing that I cannot stand is when people act like, "Yo, I'm too big for this moment," when you're not. Like let's take the gloves off for a second. When I hit this man, I was like, "Listen, man. You not known right now," and this is what I'm thinking in my head because I remember at the time, I don't know when it was, who I was talking to at the time, but I remember thinking to myself, "Wait a minute, I know this not trying to look at me." I told you I wasn't gonna say it, but I'm in my bag right now.
That's all good.
I'm in my bag right now. I remember thinking, I know this man is not finna tell me he's busy. I know you not doing nothing right now. You ain't got no records out. You got no records out right now. You got nothing to do. You got nothing to do, nowhere to go but to go see these guys and get on their records.
Yeah.
Like you right now, if you got on their records, I know this would be a smash for U of H.
It did, bro.
You know what I'm saying? And so it finally happened, and I'll save the rest of the story. I don't like the way he itched me out, though. I don't like the way he cut me out. Eve was like, "Yo," yeah, I think it was either you or Eve that was like, "Yo, shout." And I remember feeling a certain way about that, right? But long story less long. That's not important. I'm talking to my guy right here, right?
Yeah.
My homeboy, my brother. T.O. Double is what I used to call you, man.
What's good? I remember when you moved to Florida and you came back with the New York accent.
I knew you was gonna say that.
Yo, I'm gonna just say like this.
Shout out to my man, Eric. Oh my God, let me tell you this.
Shout out to that silver Mitsubishi that JR bought out there with the mirror with the mirror tint.
Shout out to my man Eric and D-Tech, man. I love you boys, man. You were very influential in my upbringing at the time. Listen, Todd, let's break the moment. What song's on your mind right now?
Palm Olive, Freddie Gibbs.
Okay.
Bandana.
Somebody I listened to the Joe Budden podcast, and they have given that album rap album of the year.
That I think that's one of the best albums that came out this year, and I am so fucking disappointed in the Grammys for not having that nominated for some reason.
You said the Grammys. Why would the Grammys have that album nominated? Grammys all about record sales.
I know, but still though, it should have been there. It should have been there.
I feel you.
And so if the Grammys,
you really should be mad at BET. Yeah. You really should be mad at them.
I don't even care about, you know what I mean? I have no expectations from so it's kind of like, okay, you didn't do it again. So, you know what I mean? It's just, God. It's just sad when you got like, because Pinata, the first project, Freddie Gibbs and Madlib did, because Madlib is my favorite producer of all time. Okay. So like, if you ever want to know who my favorite producer is, Madlib. Okay. So and I not even about his beats. I like the way he moves in the industry. Yeah. I think that it's cool how he just probably doesn't even have a phone. He said it in an interview. I'm sure but he just like he sets it up to where his beats are they're sought after. He himself is like an enigma, damn near. He doesn't really make public appearances. It's just kind of like a ghost almost. You know what I mean? And so the fact that Freddie can link up with him and just make not one but two classics, you know, definitely speaks a lot to my actual production style now.
So I was thinking, of course, for the songs that's on my mind, I'm gonna go with Somebody. Of course, I'm gonna go with Things Ain't the Same. And these two records, I not sampled, but I used over and over again in the Grosso Diaries projects. Right. I'm gonna go with Somebody. Things Ain't. I'm gonna go with Somebody. Things Ain't the Same, and I'm gonna go with Until the End of Time.
Okay.
About the first song, the first beat that I ever told you, hey, listen to this. And try to make a beat off of this.
You know, it's also another song that stuck in my head too, as well. It's called "Count" by Levi Carter.
Count.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's or "You Not Gang." I'm sorry, the name of the song is "You Not Gang" by Levi Carter.
Okay.
It's a cool song.
Okay.
Yeah, I really like it a lot.
So you've spoken about two producers. You've spoken about what you just said him a second ago. What was his name?
Madlib.
Madlib, and you spoke about Ninth Wonder. Who are your top 5 producers all time? Give me the top 5 producers all time, and then give me the producers outside of Madlib that influenced you to do what you do.
Well, Ninth Wonder definitely influenced me heavy. Just Blaze was a heavy influence on my production at one point in time.
Of course.
Bink.
Who
definitely doesn't get a lot of credit.
So Bink, Ninth Wonder.
As far as
Just Blaze
influences Kanye, of course, it's almost like you can't even not say that nigga. You know what I mean? It's like by default you have to say this nigga.
Yeah.
If you're a producer and you make even decent beats, like you lying. But then again, a lot of these producers these days make the same. It's like the same exact fucking beat. It's like the same fucking hi hats.
Yeah.
And the same snare clap. Yeah. It's crazy in the same, but whatever. But I want to say those were probably the biggest influences on my production.
That's 4. You said Just Blaze. You said Ninth Wonder, Kanye, Madlib, and you're gonna go. Damn, I think I messed it up.
Let me see who that last one.
You said Ninth Wonder. You said
Ninth Wonder, Kanye, Just Blaze, Bink.
And then you said Madlib.
Yeah, Madlib is the
number 5. Okay, he's your favorite all time. Give me somebody else in his spot.
Somebody in Madlib's spot that's super influenced my production style.
Well, okay, that's your influences, and then give me your
Tyler the Creator.
Tyler Creator, okay,
or Pharrell. Actually, I'd say Pharrell.
Okay,
so because Tyler the Creator, when I say that, I think of him. I look at Tyler the Creator as like a 2019 Pharrell, as far as the production style. Like you know what I mean? Because they're both very similar productions, but Pharrell definitely is in my top 5 favorite producers because just his chords, man. I hate sounding all like stupid and nerdy about stuff like that, but his dude's chord progressions. The dude's chord progressions are just ridiculous. I mean, you know a fucking Pharrell beat or a Neptune's beat when you hear it. It's just there. Okay. And then plus the nigga hasn't aged, but he made some of the beats that like your mom was shaking her ass to. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't even know how the fuck that works. But you know what I mean? So the nigga produces Zoom Zoom. Yeah. Or they shake your rump shaker or whatever. So you know what I mean?
So that was was that your influence or your top 5 all time? Was that your influence?
That was my influence.
Okay. Yeah. So your influence is Pharrell, Just Blaze. Yeah. You didn't say Madlib. Pharrell, Just Blaze, Kanye. Pharrell, Just Blaze, Kanye. Bink.
And Ninth Wonder.
Now give me your top 5 all time.
It's not going to be too much of a departure from the influence list. In no particular order, man. I wouldn't put Bink in my top 5 favorite producers. Nor would I put Tyler. But I would definitely put Pharrell, Kanye, Madlib. Man, I want to say Ninth Wonder, and I don't know why I'm not going to say it. And I feel like I'm missing somebody because I can't think. But Ninth Wonder was just so, like, his beats used to just really hit home. Like, that nigga produced one of my favorite beats of all time, which is Lovin' It by Little Brother. That to me, that beat was
that off the Minstrel Show?
Yes, that was off the Minstrel Show. That was
you put me on there. You put me on there,
bro. I mean, like I said, it was like, yo, what the fuck? Like, this beat, this sample, the way he chopped it was just ridiculous. Like the fact that you could chop a sample like that and do it. So, top 5 favorite producers in no particular order: Madlib, Kanye, Just Blaze, Pharrell, and man, can I just say Madlib twice instead of forcing the 5th one in there?
No. What about Timbaland? What about Havoc from?
Hey, you know,
what about RZA?
dog. Hey, shout
What about Salam Remy?
Shout out to the Wu-Tang show, by the way.
Yeah,
that was actually
yeah.
a dope. It was a very inspirational show.
Yeah.
But I'll say, man, yeah, that fifth spot, man. I don't know, because that you know what, that fifth spot's just ever evolving.
Yeah.
But those first 4 are solid.
Yeah.
That fifth spot, it could
You
change.
should put yourself in there.
Me.
Okay. You should
Todd.
put yourself in there.
Todd, I'm the top 5.
Are you still going by Christoph or no?
Nah, that dude died. That dude died.
So now what is your producer name now?
I'm just Todd.
Just Todd. Okay. Okay.
But people call me Things with Todd for some reason, and because of my Instagram name.
That's nice.
So I
Things with Todd.
I go with that sometimes
Okay.
too. But you know, like when the Niceguys broke up, I went on like a really long not making beats hiatus because all my shit got stolen, and then I wasn't even aware that I was depressed at the time.
We'll talk about that because listen, I'm gonna tell you this. I'm not a trendy nigga.
Yeah.
I'm just going to listen. I said in pre-production, I'm not going to use that word, but I'm with my brother right now, and so
we can drop the end.
I'm with my brother right now, and I have to make sure that I am as transparent as possible. I'm not a trendy nigga. So when I tell you, listen, I listen to the show. I listen to the Green Room EP. I listen to the James Kelly LP from time to time. That's what I do.
Yeah, and which is tight because why I think it's flattering that you fuck with the music so heavy is because I know specifically the type of music that you like, and the type of music that you like is very, I mean, you know what I mean? It's not for no stupid niggas, essentially.
Yeah.
Not to say that there is music for stupid niggas just playing. There's a lot of stupid nigga music out there. But no, like essentially like the music that you like, I fuck with your taste in music. So if anytime like I could slide in that category of like rotation of shit you listening to, it's an honor because I know that you probably just got through listening to fucking Illmatic and fucking Blueprint.
Yeah.
You know, now you want to throw on the show. So that's tight. That's crazy.
let me tell you my Blueprint story. I was at Best Buy for Richmond and 610, right? And you used to. Did you ever come to 5304? You've been there maybe once or twice.
5304 was it still?
It was still in 2111, but we moved from the left side of the apartment close to Night Road,
bro.
all over.
I was.
Somebody stole my CDs. It was somebody stole all my CDs.
CD book, right?
Somebody stole all of them, right? And so I
man, you had a legit.
Don't get me started, man. Somebody stole my CD book out of my car, right? So I went into Best Buy off of Richmond and 610 and bought the Blueprint trilogy, right?
Yeah.
And I went in, I got the Blueprint trilogy, and I put in the Blueprint. The intro came on, and then Takeover came on, and he said, "Fuck nah." Man, I was pulling out of the parking lot, and I stopped. I put the car in drive and parked, and I went in and I got Stillmatic over again. I got the Lost Tapes over again, and I got another nod. Maybe it was I Am over again because I couldn't take it.
Nigga, dog. Like,
I could not take it.
You was like, yo, I'm about to go. This shit dropped today, nigga. I'll be there today at the time that it dropped. That was you. You definitely.
I could not take the insult of saying "fuck Nas." I could not take it.
Boy,
I just could not take it.
Man, yeah, he did that. Man, you know, speaking of 5308, I remember
5304.
I remember specifically. This is around the time when you were like a Smallville stan. And that was when I think.
Hey, listen, all my secrets is coming out today.
And this is before I even knew it. JR was like a ridiculous Smallville. Like it was relentless. like this dude.
All my secrets coming out today.
But that was the very first time that was the very first freshman XXL cover year that you were staying in that apartment. That was a really interesting thing because I remember specifically a lot of those dudes. Some of them fell off. Some of them have really flourishing careers.
Who was on that cover?
Man, that was the
I have that magazine.
Charles Hamilton.
Oh, Wale.
Wale, like, you know what I mean? Like,
I got that. I got that.
I wonder what happened to that dude, Charles Hamilton, as a matter of fact.
He fell off after because he was on the same interview.
Song, Brooklyn Girls. Now that chick slapped the Sonic coins out of his ass.
Yes, and that was it. That was his downfall. But I remember he was on the same interview that Joe Budden was on with Green Lantern. And he was on that same YouTube video that I seen.
He was. But I remember but shout out though, man, for making that song Brooklyn Girls. It was
it was hot. It was fire.
Cool.
It was fire.
It landed you on the cover. You didn't.
He was on that cover. Who else was on that cover?
I want to say Wale. No, man, don't.
Wale was on that cover. Wiz Khalifa was on that cover. I got that magazine in my mom's crib.
Was Nipsey not on that cover?
Nah, he was on the cover with J. Cole.
Oh, okay, so that was
he was on the cover with Jake. I got that magazine too. Rest in peace to him. Man.
It was R.I.P. Man. It was. But who were the freshmen?
It was Wale was on that cover. I think.
I just remember seeing it.
Charles Hamilton was on that cover.
Oh,
Wiz Khalifa was on that. It wasn't on that cover. He was on the same cover with Nipsey.
Was like Asher Roth on that cover.
Asher Roth was on that cover.
So like, yeah, it was like Dom Kennedy maybe. No.
Yeah, he was on that cover too. I think
it would make sense, maybe not though, but it was kind of like that era where that
Who else
because
was on
that was an era when that magazine that came out with that issue.
I think Wiz Khalifa was on that cover with Wale.
Probably so, man. Like because
if I'm mistaken,
we actually got to witness one of the biggest like rap booms of an era. To say like we got to see like Kendrick Lamar, niggas like Frank Ocean.
He wasn't on the cover though.
No, he
was too big at the time.
Not that cover. No, Kendrick Lamar wasn't. I don't think, bro. Maybe
he wasn't on that cover because he had the same kind of initial impact that Drake had.
No, I don't think he did. No,
not. Well, I'm saying this: Drake was never on a freshman cover
because Kendrick. I think Kendrick had a slower burn than that. I think his first. In my opinion, he had that overly dedicated project.
Listen, this is who was on that cover. On the cover with Wale. J. Cole was on the cover with Wale. And I think Wiz Khalifa was on the cover with Nipsey. If I'm not mistaken. J. Cole and Wale were on the same cover. If I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but I'm not. Look, we're not on music.
We're just pretending like we don't have access to the internet right now.
I'm not going to look it up. I'm not going to look it up. I'm not going to look it up. But, you know what? I am going to look it up. I'm going to look it up. I'm going to look it up. You have to,
bro.
I'm right here.
At this point, I mean, it would be ridiculous not to.
What do I search on here? What do I search?
Just type in XXL freshman first cover. Freshman cover.
First freshman XXL cover. Because I wasn't gonna look it up, but
I wasn't either.
Here we go. So okay, B.O.B.
Oh man,
B.O.B. was on there.
Doesn't he believe the Earth is flat?
I don't know. So here we go. We have oh shoot. No, that's not the cover because that was the cover with Joel Ortiz and Crooked Eye. Let's go here. I'm going to images. It looks like here.
Blue. Oh, he was on there.
Oh, Ace Hood was on here.
Oh, shit.
Asher Roth, Chris Hamilton, B.O.B., Wale. I don't know this guy. So Cole was on the cover with Nipsey.
Dang. Whatever happened to that dude, Blue?
Who?
The dude with the dude in the middle with the plaid shirt.
He
put out a project called Below the Heavens with Exile.
Huh.
That was was one of my favorite albums actually at the time.
So I don't know. I have no idea. Okay, and then this is the year after. This is the year after. J-Rock was on the same cover as Nipsey, as J. Cole, as Wiz, as rest in peace to OJ the Juice Man. Freddie Gibbs, I think, is here.
Wait, OJ the Juice Man died?
Yes.
When did OJ the Juice Man die?
He died when Gucci was in jail.
Are you sure?
Yes, he died in a car crash. And on that same cover, Big Sean was on the same cover.
Dog, I feel
and two other guys. I don't know.
not hip hop right now for not knowing that.
Yeah, OJ the Juice Man passed. You don't remember that? It was
Nah,
huge.
Damn, I didn't know that. R.I.P. man. Shit.
Yeah, he passed away, but this was the cover right after Wale's cover.
So this was a couple of years ago.
Nah, it was actually.
No, I mean no. When
this is so this is 2009.
Yeah.
2009 was Asherah, Charles Hamilton, B.O.B., Kid Cudi, Blue Wale, like you said.
I remember hearing
Corey
Mickey
Guns.
Fact's name and never hearing music from him for so long.
Ace Hood, Currency, and Mickey Fax.
I want to say when I met Mickey Facts in person, he was kind of a dick. I was like, why are you being like this? I've never even heard your music before.
2010 was J. Cole, Pill, Nipsey Hussle, Wiz Khalifa, OJ the Juice Man, Freddie Gibbs, Big Sean, J-Rock, Fashawn, and Donis.
Gangsta Gibb, that's my nigga, dog.
Yeah.
That's like one of my, he makes great music.
Wow, and then 2011 was Meek Mill, Big Crit, Sci-Hi the Prince, Lil Twist, Yellow Wolf, Mac Miller, rest in peace to him, YG, Lil B, Kendrick Lamar. He did make a cover. My bad. Ooh, my bad.
Oh, I told
Diggy
you
Simmons and Fred
Hey, by the way,
Godson.
just I'm gonna say this. I don't think we give Lil B enough credit for the culture that he created, which is current rap culture. I'm on some real shit. Like Lil B was on this little freshman 2011 rap culture. Lil B is the reason why niggas say the word swag.
Yeah.
Lil B is the reason why niggas cook and do all this shit they do now. I mean, he pretty much kind of created a whole like I don't give a fuck rap culture.
Yeah.
And then he tried to put out a real album rapping with real lyrics, and then it wasn't good. But
my apologies. I tried to put Drake on the same. Well, Kendrick Lamar is top dog.
think about it.
No pun intended.
Kendrick Lamar had put out his first album was Good Kid, Mad City.
Yes.
Right.
Well, Section.
No,
80.
that was his first.
They made it in an album after, but his first album was Good Kid, Mad
Good
City.
Kid, Mad. That was his first like studio, like major label album, I guess. And Section 80 and Overly Dedicated, and then I think the K Dot mixtapes that he had before that. So, like I said, he had been putting in a lot of work. So when he hit the scene, he didn't really make that super, in my opinion, that super like commercial appeal until like shit like swimming pools. You know what I mean? And then after that, I mean, it was just kind of like, all right, bet it's Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
But prior to that, he was just more so like an underground, like not underground. I don't know.
Yeah. So listen. So I was. Oh man, when you and the Niceguys didn't make another EP after James Kelly LP, I was kind of hurt.
Well, the making of the last with the James Kelly, man, that took a lot out of us as a collective because we that was a prime example of how you spoke on earlier, like on trying to perfect it, just kind of put it out. Like that was after we released the show, and then we were on the cover of Houston Press and shit, and then we were getting like a little buzz, like people were fucking with us.
Yes,
that.
I remember. I got that.
And,
I got that magazine.
Yeah,
when
so
I seen you on the cover, I got it.
And I was surprised because people were like, "Damn!" Like I was just shocked that this project that we put out, like it got so much notoriety.
Why?
I don't know. I mean,
listen, man.
Just saying, niggas had never done it before. We weren't expecting that.
Listen. I'm gonna tell you this, man. And nobody's gonna give y'all flowers, but the Niceguys to U of H culture. And U of H is big because it's the biggest university in Houston, Texas.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? There ain't no other university bigger than we are.
Yeah.
And you guys were the shit in college.
Yeah,
anybody who say that y'all weren't the shit is lying.
it was fun.
let's call a spade here.
But you know what we didn't do, bro, is the second album, bro, what we didn't do is we did not capitalize on the cloud that we had. We didn't strike while the iron was hot. We spent too much time trying to perfect the James Kelly album, and we literally, so after we dropped this first album, and it took us like a year to drop the next one. So by that time, naturally people are going to lose interest in anything. Do
you think that you guys were making LPs too early? Because the reason why I said that is because I always thought, and this is my blueprint, because J. Cole came up in the college scene as a college kid. But he was using other people's beats until he made that record that was just fire.
So as a group with two producers and a rapper, like, I mean, it's damn near no point in using any beat other than, the two in-house producers that you have. Yeah. Because now we're circling back around to 2019 and we're seeing how valuable having original beats is. Yeah. But then again, niggas rip shit off SoundCloud or whatnot, but then you get sued off your ass for that nowadays. But regardless, it took us a while to put that second album out.
Yeah.
And then after that, bro,
What do you think that y'all could have done different? Because
our chemistry wasn't there.
Yeah.
We started, you know what it was, bro? We all just started growing apart musically.
Okay. You want to crack this last one? Yeah.
Crack it. We all just started growing apart musically.
Yeah.
Like,
was this around the time that Nas had that? Not Nas, but Eve had that independent record. That because I bought it. I know you produced a couple of tracks on there.
No, actually, so this was before. So around that time,
I'm not talking about the good a good Catholic boy or the last one that you did 2 tracks on that I love. I'm talking about the one where he did before that.
Yeah, no. So that was I actually. That I didn't have anything to do with that one. I know what you're talking about, like, and so that was an interesting time in my life because I once the Niceguys had, you know, for all intents and purposes had dissolved. I was just trying to figure out my new sound and trying to figure out what it was that I was gonna do, and you know, we actually re-linked and a couple years later, and then we started working on another Niceguys album.
Yeah,
because our old manager had did that thing where he was like, "Yo, meet me here." He said it to all 4 of us, and then like we all met at the, you know what I mean? So we started recording. The plan was to put out a double track called Eve Saint and Eve Sinner.
A 2-pack?
Yeah, 2. It was like it was going to be like 5 produced by me, 5 produced by Free.
Oh, okay.
And,
so 10 tracks.
Yeah, 10 tracks, but split up in 2 album form. You know what I mean? At that point in time, my beats were like, you know, when Maxo came out, like when Quick Strikes came out, and I think that
you're talking about Pumpkin and
So Maxo he had this song called Soul Boomin' that I heard and produced by Rico, who's a dope producer in Houston, and that just kind of like made me just kind of like rethink how I want to make beats a little bit because it was just such a knocking beat, and then I kind of like reformulated shit.
Is this when you go from the sampling to the more of the 808s and more of the southern type beats?
Yeah, that was the moment.
I remember this because I remember thinking, I was like, damn. Todd ain't. Oh, that's what. Okay, let me finish this thought right quick. Then I ask you a question. I remember I was like, man, Todd ain't sampling. Like, he ain't got those soulful. Like, you know, you made beats that made, for me at least, want to rhyme.
See, I think I was at that point. I was kind of like in a real depressed point, and I didn't even realize it because all of my beats sounded like murder. Like, no, they literally sound like my beats sounded like a fucking drive-by. Like, you know what I mean? It was just like they were real dark and just angry and heavy on the bass, and you know what I mean? And it was that was where I was. So I went for a while just without, you know, when I was making beats like that, and it wasn't until fast forward a few years, Tubo had kind of like linked me and Les.
Okay, hold on. Time out before we get there. Okay, so we've talked about the Niceguys as much as we can.
Yeah.
Okay. Take me through sampling. What does that entail? Because I listened to and he's retweeted some of my tweets over the years. I listened to Scram Jones on SXM 45, right? And he scrambles. What is sampling composed of? What does that mean?
Sampling is literally just taking any sound, I would say, that you didn't create yourself and incorporating it into something that you are creating. So sampling doesn't necessarily have to be a soul record. It could be shit. I mean, if you bang on, I could sample any sound and put it into what I'm making. So if I bang on this table right here and
you did a lot of that for the show and
with the show, that was just more so just like taking soul samples, actual songs, and chopping them up. The show era was like more so Ninth Wonder influence, so it was like a lot of like, let me take this sample and chop it and rearrange it to where it's unidentifiable.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
So that's why you didn't have to clear it, because I was wondering.
Yeah.
I was wondering, shit. If you're sampling, then you out.
Bro, Ninth Wonder got away with one of the biggest not getting a sample cleared ever, or maybe he did get a sample. I don't know, but he on Minstrel Show, there's a track called "Watch Me" that has a Jackson 5 sample, but it's chopped to like beyond recognizable, damn near. I mean, you could hear it a little bit in there, but yeah, like that was super tight. So that was like, damn, man, this nigga made the song sound like not the song, and then made it sound better.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
Yeah. So okay. So let's push forward a little bit. Okay. So the Niceguys is over. Y'all not making music no more, but still, I'm repping y'all to this day. Okay. I love y'all. Like I said before, whatever platform I have, I'm gonna always play y'all music. You know, I always got the clearance from you to be able to play y'all music and my stuff, right?
For sure.
Okay. So now what I'm interested in is you now move on to from being behind the scenes, because quite frankly, for me, I always had the question of how do you pop an MC, two producers, and a DJ? How do you make that? How do you make that pop? That's besides the point. We'll talk about that at another time, because you'll be on the podcast again,
sure.
right? Right. So you move on to your own thing. Now, I always knew that you were just, you know, it was one of those things, T.O., that whenever we talk on the phone, we talk for about an hour, minimum.
For sure.
Okay. And a lot of it is due to the fact that we don't talk every day, but that's besides the point. But we talk for an hour or so, right? How do you go from producer of the Niceguys, super producer of the Niceguys, to doing things with Todd?
Just trying to figure out a way to sustain myself as, I mean, because when the Niceguys dissolved, I mean, we had so many in-house resources. Between, I mean, fucking art from DeBale D, who's one of the dopest artists I know. To, I mean, video.
He used to make y'all some crazy.
I mean, it was just ridiculous, like the in-house situation we had, bro. Between, you know, when we met Tubo. I'm not gonna call this nigga Danny Ocean. Y'all may know this nigga is Danny Ocean, but fuck, man.
Man, give that man his name. His name is Danny Ocean. Come on, man. Come on, man. His name is Danny Ocean. Look, so people take on monarchs.
I know, but for like that, I have to just call him Tubo. So that's like that's for conversation purpose. Like, that nigga wouldn't get up here and call me Christoph. So like, no, but so like, you know, we had Tubo shooting videos. Shit, we had Greg doing photography. Like, I mean, we had just like this ridiculous. We had a 3-manager team. Then all these guys were working for free.
Listen, let me tell you this. Because I was listening to a podcast a while ago, and it was I was listening to a podcast a while ago, and he said to the guy, he said, "Listen, if you don't have resources to help you do what you do, right, stop calling me." But I was just so, man, I just love the way people used to work with y'all.
I mean, because we're all between me, Omar, you know, Eve, Free, like we were all just pretty cool dudes that would. Well, plus Eve was just a socialite, so Eve just knew everybody and was always making connections. Then Omar was a DJ, so I mean, fuck, there's that, you know what I mean. And then Free was taking pictures in the mix, and then shit, I essentially was the only nigga that was just making beats. That's why I overcompensated by making so many beats, because I didn't really do anything other
but you look, TOW, you were.
I was just like the funny dude.
You were fuck that.
I had braid. I was a long hair dude.
Fuck that.
It's like
listen, man. Like I said, braids. I don't cuss on this platform. I try not to, but listen, your beats were legendary.
I appreciate that. I really do, but that means a lot.
And but you know, I'm not trying to put on for the show. You know how much I fucked with you.
Yeah, no.
You know that I loved your music, right? Yeah. And so your beats, man, I was like, and there was a point in time when you were making beats back when you were sampling back then that I was like, that's Todd. That's Todd. That's Todd. That's Todd. That's Todd. You had that Bink, you had that Pharrell, you had that Timbaland type feel.
Yeah, mix of all of that shit.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what it was. And so to fast forward to the things with Todd, that was just kind of, like I said, me and Tubo were literally doing what we're doing right now. We were just sitting, shooting the shit, having some beers. We were watching Anthony Bourdain. You know, at this time I was working at a bar. I was bartending. This place called Brooklyn Athletic Club, and
I came to see you there once.
Yeah, so at that point, that's when I kind of, like, when I started working at that bar, that's when I started meeting people that were other bartenders, and they were chefs, and that they owned other restaurants and shit like that. Because when you're a bartender, you get niggas fucked up. I mean, you can, you know. So at that point, me and Tubo were just watching Anthony Bourdain, and we were just like, man, Tubo, you have a camera, obviously, and I'm kind of funny, nigga. Just I can just see if we can. my homeboy is a chef at this kitchen or this restaurant. I'm sure he could, you know what I mean? And that's just how it started.
Yeah.
And it was literally just as a lot of people try to overcomplicate shit that's not complicated, right?
Yeah.
You see how you fucking started a podcast?
Yeah.
You got the camera, you have 2 mics, you got your laptop, and we're doing it.
Yeah.
There's nothing more to talk about,
Yeah.
right? We can talk about all day what we want to do and this and that, but execution is what the fuck means and everything. So
Yeah.
that was my biggest thing. I'm still working on this album, right?
What album?
This album that I've been working on for like 5 years, 6 years maybe. It's really since the Niceguys ended.
Okay.
But that's another conversation for another time. But with the show, it was just me wanting to start something and then see it through.
Yeah.
Like me wanting to have an idea, flesh it out, and then see it through, and then not realizing how easy it was. I mean. Once we figured out the dynamic of the format of the first episode, I mean, it was game on.
Let me interrupt you by saying this, because we spoke about this when we weren't recording, right? For me, and this is how I have always been. I do things artistically for me,
Yeah,
right? And I'd hope that as I evolve as an artist, as a creative, that people just rock with it, right?
yeah.
So I don't care what the man outside of me. I'm gonna be even honest. I don't care what you say about what I do.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do what I do because I love what I do.
That's JR.
So
That's nigga.
So I was talking to my my editor today, and you all should check out her blog. Is called tempestlives.com. I was talking to her today, and I was saying to her, "Hey, when's the last time that you wrote a blog?" Mm-hmm. For me, it's all about starting and continuing. Yeah. And as you grow in that process, you figure out your lane, right? So initially, I wasn't, all I wanted to do with the podcast was give people stories. It wasn't until I got to my frat brother, Clint Brownlow, shout out to you, I love you, boy, that he was like, hey, man, people are getting lost in what you're doing, so you need to tell people what you're doing initially so that you can get people hooked in, right? Yeah. But I believe in just getting started and figuring out on the way. But on that path, I ain't going to stop. I'm going to keep doing what I do. Facts. Because, shit, this is what I love to do. So it doesn't matter if I'm making bread or not on it. I'm going to keep doing what I do because this is what I love to do. And I don't think that anybody should stop doing what they want to do for the simple fact of, I'm not making bread or it's not making sense. Yeah. That's what I was talking about earlier.
Yeah. I mean, and bro, that's, if you think about it, we didn't really see a lot of money from Niceguys shit. You know what I mean? Nothing I've done ever has been money driven.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've really been inconveniencing myself on the starving artist shit for a while now, just because I fuck with what it is that I do. Yeah. So, I'm not to say that I'm not a financially motivated person, but I mean, I don't do things artistically for a check. Yeah, you know what I mean, and that's not to say that we're just out here being just artsy as fuck, right? Yeah. Just this and that, But at the end of the day, like, I mean, yeah, I've never seen like a big ass paycheck from something that I've done. So until I see that, then that's maybe when I'll start getting like more money hungry about shit. But I'm just kind of just chilling right now. Just
I mean, really, what it is we just don't have the resources in Houston.
Yeah, a lot of the resources.
I mean, if we can be honest, we don't have the resources in Houston, and so it almost deters a lot of artists. It makes artists uproot and go to other places. It makes artists just not be creative. We just don't have the resources.
I will say this though, bro, with the Niceguys ending and just the fact that I myself didn't burn a lot of bridges, and we kept just a pretty positive rapport with people. Whenever I did pick up, start the show, I was kind of able to finesse that into just people just kind of knew me from that. So it was a little bit easier for me to kind of maneuver in this world. Yeah. Just off of being like, oh yeah, you the dude from, producer and shit like that. So that kind of made it a little bit easier to navigate through what it is I'm doing now, just because of the clout that we had back then. You know what I mean?
I will say this, man. I love you, my nigga.
Yeah, you too, bro.
I love you, dog. I mean, I mean, I would live to have the story that Wu-Tang had with each other. But I mean, I'm grateful for the story that I have with you.
I mean, and the thing is, bro, like, let's just be real here. If there were to be like a show or a movie of the Niceguys and creation, nigga, you'd be in it too. Like,
I mean, if I wasn't, I'd be. Look, I'll be honest. I'm be honest. Listen,
you would play a pretty decent role in it too, bro.
Right here. Listen, I'm going to take the time right here to put the Overdose video in here because I just think that the Overdose video was so fire. So Houston, Texas. We'll be right back. Let me play the Overdose video. I know we're an hour in, but it's okay. I mean, we have no time limit. We have no time limit. I'm going to play the Overdose video right here. Houston, Texas, you're watching and listening to episode number 41 of the What's Next podcast. This is South Tower. Peace and blessings.
Nice.
Yo, it feel like 95, Sachi on my body, Biggie, Jigger, Puffy, all that ballin' is a hobby. And I'm wildin' in my wallies, and them valleys, no Pilates. More way get you more way. Nah, that's these Spumante. My crystal ball, I see crystal, I crystal y'all with that. I saw the sign like Ace of Spades, that Ace of Spades get cracked. I'm like, cheers to the money guys, the Willie niggas who buy them bottles, and then they spill these liquors. Yo, salute my dude. I see you, dog. 5 bottles, 1 dick. Why I need 2 bras? I know I'm out of line, but love is shower time. You know it rose rain when your cloud is 9. Get off that high ass hussy. This a private party. Been on my dick too long. Your breath on private party. You gon' be nice and naughty. These walls on priceless Audi. This the upper crust. Fuck is up. Over and done. Overdose. Yes, we did it again. Sippin' with no remorse. We gon' do it again, and we gon' do it again.
What we doing again?
The most. Overdose. 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 Yeah. Overdose. Yeah. Overdose. Yeah. Overdose. Yeah. Overdose. Overdose. Cause we celebrating. See what I orchestrated. His 265 got 2 chicks. I just incorporated. Good chance to share towers. Somebody saying wow. Couple of hours, she'll be begging for that clam chowder. If you going for that, how y'all gonna make a song for that? Now with a conscious rap, look at the condo rap. I got a couple long times just going right back. But what about this condo? Nothing but condoms in it. I'm kinda though. Plus got all kinds of women open like an envelope. All this designer linen and his face paint. Guess I'm designing women. Champagne, kinda spilling. Shampoo, that kinda swimming. Come get this shampoo. Fuck being modest, killing that beat outside soon. Just being honest. See Molly on that Molly. Them white girls on that white girl, girl on girl. You pick your poison. Either way, it's girls that like girls. Get a champagne style. Overdose. Yes, we did it again. Sippin' with no remorse. We gon' do it again, and we gon' do it again.
What we doing again?
The most. Overdose. 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 Yeah. Overdose. Yeah. Overdose. Yeah. Overdose. Yeah. Overdose. Overdose. Weird. Same story but a new year. How the hell I get here? Man, I can't think clear. Then did I drink clear? I got lipstick on my gear. I got a broad in the bed with a rear. That'll make a real nigga shed a tear. Phone number on the mirror. Man, I can use a beer. OJ, Rose, Mo, hey, inside her holiday cheer. Girl, what is your name? Thanks for bringing that down. The number phone number on let both y'all count. Over and done, overdose. Guess we did it again, sipping with no remorse. We gon' do it again, and we gon' do it again.
What we doing again?
The most overdose, 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 yeah, overdose, yeah, overdose, yeah, overdose, yeah, overdose, overdose.
Yo, Houston, Texas, man. Round of applause for that. Man, like I said, I'm a big person on influence, right? My influence is Nas, Diddy, my dad. Shout out to my father. Man, the Nice Guys.
Great influences.
Yeah, the Nice Guys, man. Just I love your music, right?
Appreciate
and no matter what, if anybody ever talked about Houston rap, legendary rap, I'm always gonna mention you guys. Always.
That's cool, man. I appreciate that because when it comes to, I think probably I downplay a lot of the shit that I do to a fault.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean. And I've been told that before, but
you do it to be humble, though.
Yeah, man. Because I would rather just like I don't know. I when I see people that are, I mean, you don't ever want to look lame, because it's when I see somebody that's gloating about something that no one gives a fuck about, I'm the first person to be like, bro, nobody gives a fuck. Right? So if I know how I feel about like you gloating about your fucking accolades and nobody gives a fuck about, it's definitely way cooler to just not even gloat and just to be more humble, bro. Like humility is one of the tightest things ever.
Biggest, no doubt.
If just don't be a dick, man. Fuck.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
That's all it is.
Just, So, things with Todd, man. Where do you see it going?
I don't know. Probably nowhere, really. I mean, it's just
nah,
fun.
Don't say that.
I would just kind of just fuck around, shooting the show. Yeah, man. I mean, I don't know. Like, it would be tight if like maybe Vice would be like, hey, you should come do that here. Oh no, Vice has been kind of stupid lately.
I can see it.
No, actually, I'm just playing. Y'all are so awesome. I didn't say that.
but you know what? This is what I will say, because when we talked, I guess that first time after so long, I realized I was like, man, I didn't know that you were the creative mind state behind what was going on with the Nice Guys.
Yeah, bro. It was definitely bro. Like me and Eve Heavy were just sitting in the room. Because Eve was living on my couch the majority of the time we recorded the show.
Okay.
So even from it was crazy. I actually found the picture that influenced the show cover that I sent to D to recreate. I found it the other day, which was crazy. But it was just, man, linking up with Tubo too, man. When we linked up with Tubo, he was super young. He didn't know how to shoot videos. And I just always had this weird eye for just shit. So, and then, at that time, me and Eve were just like working real well together. So, if at that point in time, if me, Eve, and Tubo were on the same accord, then it was a green light. You know what I mean? And then once Eve got super just focused on the music, then it was just kind of like me and Tubo, and then, or sometimes just Eve and Tubo. But like a lot of the ideas and the concepts and stuff like that, yeah, it was fun, man. It was because I feel like this shit has to be, at that point I felt like stuff had to be cinematic, just to kind of convey a audio picture, if you will. You know who was the most pivotal part in the group that when it comes to let's see, Omar didn't make beats, but the first beat Omar made, he had Slim Thug on, which was niggas ain't never had a
feature. You talking about on the James Kelly album?
On James Kelly.
What was it? No, that wasn't it.
Married to the Mob.
Married to the Mob.
Yeah, and Omar,
Married to the
M.O.B. make beats, bro. Omar's
Mob.
first beat.
Married to the M.O.B. Mob.
And so Omar, bro, dog, bless his heart, man. Like he would every time we had a show, we had to do a tour or some shit like that. Omar was like packing his Navigator up. We were all riding Omar shit.
Yeah.
So and he DJ'd everything. He was he was a DJ. So
Yeah.
and I feel like we put a lot of stress on him back in the day. Just just to have to constantly just like not only drive but then DJ these events or these shows.
Can I ask you a question?
What's up?
Okay. We grew up in the party scene at U of H,
for sure.
right? College, city-wise. This is the thing that I just couldn't understand from your management team. Shout out to James Dexter.
Joe Dex.
Joe
James Dex, Joe Dex. Sorry. Potato.
Right. And maybe this wasn't his decision, but why was it that when you had people coming out to your events, right, that y'all weren't playing Niceguys music?
Oh man,
I couldn't fathom it.
Yeah,
I couldn't understand it. I was like what's in my mind? I was thinking I was boiling. I was like, what's going on here? We should be
Omar. Omar, while we were playing Niceguys, I'm just playing.
I mean, I was to myself.
Well, I mean, because really, bro, at the time, like it was just this weird balance that we had to find, right? So we would slip a couple of songs here and there in the cracks.
Yeah,
but for the most part, it was just like until you can be known as a person,
man.
It's like and me now that I DJ too, like as a person that you know what I mean, like I have to, and I DJ at clubs and shit, right? So I have to control a crowd. I have to make sure that people are dancing and shit like that. And
so you see you see back then what was going on.
Yeah, it's almost like you have to kind of put your person. If you have a group of people in a setting. At that point in time, you know, and that's why Omar's one of the best DJs I know because
shout out to
Omar,
Candlestick.
I'm sorry, Candlestick is Omar, but yeah. So Candlestick is literally one of the best DJs I know because of the fact that he's able to control crowds. He can read the fuck out of anything. He can, you know what I mean? It's just like so, and that's kind of what I learned from Omar and Charlie Brown. Shout out to Reeks and Shantae, like you know what I mean? Like that's like my DJ, what's it called? Mount
Hierarchy
Rushmore. Mount Rushmore. My DJ Mount Rushmore in Houston would probably be like those four.
I mean, but I'm just in my mind. I was thinking to myself. I was like, listen. I mean, we came here. Listen, for me, I don't know about everybody else. Like I said, I'm not a trendy guy. I came here to vibe with the Niceguys, right? And for me. I'm not bad. I'm not opposed to hearing Niceguys stuff and rocking to it, knowing every word of the records. Like, I mean, that was a question that plagued my mind for years.
We didn't, and I think that was again where we were probably being too humble. We didn't want to force our music on people. I guess we took such a modest route about a lot of shit. To where like we were just kind of we wanted to come off like it's just kind of like nonchalant, cool, chill. We're just you know what I mean. We're not too. If you listen to it, fuck it. If not, cool too. Yeah. Like you know what I mean. Whatever. So we never just want to come off like thirsty.
Do you regret that?
If I can go back and do stuff differently, there were some things I'd do different. I would. Yeah, I don't regret not playing the music. Like I said, there were just some things that we would do differently with the knowledge that we have now. Like I mentioned Les earlier. He came up around the same time.
Oh, for sure.
Did, right?
For sure.
And it's so crazy how the fucking world works full circle. Let's rewind back to that freshman year, or sophomore year when South Tower.
Yeah, South Tower.
Les was also in the
rapping.
dorms, but Les was in the North Tower though. We don't whatever. But literally, like I would see Les around campus and shit like that because he was like the most tattooed college student I'd ever seen.
He wasn't tatted at the time.
Nah, nigga was tatted, bro. He wasn't as tatted as he is now, but nigga was pretty tatted.
He had it tatted at the time.
Bro, he was sleep. I remember seeing a nigga like, yo, man, you're in college?
I don't remember.
I didn't know
that.
like college people could have that many tattoos.
I remember he was in the dorms with us, but I don't remember him being tatted.
That nigga was tatted, bro.
Oh,
yeah,
damn.
That nigga was super
my bad.
tatted.
My bad, LES. My bad. I liked his name because Nas had a producer, LES.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Murder Quest.
Yeah,
So,
of course. Come on.
But nah, man. So he is an example of like a nigga that just kind of like kept his head low and just kept working. You know
Kept working.
Because we put out shit and let's say we all, because believe it or not, one of the very first beats that I ever made, I gave to Les. And this is when I didn't even know him that well. I just knew he was a rapper, and we just chopped it up and shit like that. And I literally, and it was the most Dipset sounding fucking beat ever, bro. And that was, and he never rapped on it, and we never made any music, but there was always just like mutual respect, like for just he has his shit going, we have our shit going. So, you know, like when our shit dissolved and whenever we broke up, and that nigga was still, you know, he was picking up. Picking up.
I remember a time period, it was a February. He had to drop every day in February.
Yeah, dog.
He works.
That makes music, bro.
He works.
So when I linked with him, it was actually pretty interesting because I had made beats for a while, like in a capacity enough to like I can produce a project, right? Yeah. So Tubo kind of made that happen to where I produce. He just wanted me to work with Les, and then Les had been working with Rogers, and then he would just. I guess they just wanted to do like go in a different direction for this one project because they were fresh off of Midnight Club, and which was fire. We linked, and then me and Les just made, in my opinion, was just one of his best albums. not even because I
talking
produced
about shrimps and
steak and shrimp.
Steak and shrimp.
No. Catalina Wine Mixer is the one I produced.
Okay.
By the way, shout out to Siraj. Siraj produced literally the tightest beat on that whole project. The one Siraj beat was the tightest one on that bitch. But no, it was kind of like the first time that since the Niceguys days, actually, when I linked with Les, that I got to kind of be real hands-on and kind of have some creative control with an album, because I remember literally the first day I walked into him and Georgie's office, he literally was like, I walked in that bitch and he was like, we're naming the album Catalina Wine Mixer. Yeah. And I was like, bet, say no more. Okay. So then we just fucking smoked a whole lot of weed and watched Step Brothers, and then just kind of just like, to me, that album, Catalina Wine Mixer, is kind of like what I would consider like my Mad Villainy, or my how MF Doom and Madlib made that project, or how Freddie Gibbs and Madlib, like that's kind of like how it was, because it's kind of like, I don't know, it was just cool. It was like the from the way that it was conceived to the way that it was finished to the feel of it, like it was just like a real dope project. Yeah. And it also didn't hurt that Shay Serrano said that it was Les's best album too at that point in time. So shout out to Shay, man. He you know, that was cool. Ooh, sorry.
So today is September the 1st, 2019, and we have 30 days left in the 2019 year. 30 days. We're finally in the last month of 2019. What do you hope to attain in 30 days?
Man, so we, you know how we have the brand Things, which is just kind of an extension of Things with Todd. Yeah. I felt weird.
You got a different Instagram name with that, right?
Well, yeah, that's just Things with. But that Instagram is under model right now. Okay. We linked up, maybe it was about a year and a half ago, we linked up with this super fucking dope artist from Beaumont. Name is Joey. So he actually is a part of the team. He's the designer for Things. Okay. And hopefully we have a gallery that we're working on, and we were trying to work on, and I don't know if you've seen like the bunny toys and stuff like that we put out, the vinyl figures.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, so right now it's just kind of trying to get it going with these galleries. We've been throwing these art galleries, and right now me and Joey and Tubo. Shout out to Thomas too, man. Do you know Thomas, right? Or do you know Thomas, or do you not know Thomas?
I don't know Thomas.
Well, yeah, Thomas. And then there's Siraj too, who lives in LA, who's you've seen him before. He actually makes really good beats, bro. Like that nigga would have replaced whenever like the Niceguys was like fizzling out because me and Free weren't. Bro, if Tubo would have let me know that Siraj was making beats like that nigga, the Niceguys would probably still be a thing. We'd probably make that nigga Siraj producer and just kept the ball rolling. Yeah. But anyways, yeah, man, just to try to get have at least like another gallery, have more. We want to release these. I shot an episode with Bun B for the last episode, the latest episode of Things with Todd. We shot an episode with Bun B where we ate hamburger buns.
I was gonna say, man, I was gonna say, man, you know what? People underestimate what your beginning steps look like, and I'm not talking about you. I'm just talking about in general, right? But I remember seeing your things with Todd, and you had Slim on that motherfucker. You know what I mean?
I'm shocked to this day. Like the fact
and I've heard
niggas
that
sat down and like they,
yeah. I've heard that he was a around the way guy. Like
super,
no matter
bro.
what,
Damn,
no matter
man.
what, he's from the town. If you're from the town, he's gonna hold you down.
It's
right?
ridiculous, bro. Like how easy and cool these dudes are when you talk to them, because like you would, but I think that's why like dudes like Slim Thug and you have niggas like Les, and that's why these dudes are so fucked with in Houston. Is because like when you meet these dudes, they ain't never on no Hollywood shit.
Yeah.
So like you meet Slim Thug, man, he gonna dap it up with you, chop it up with you, take a picture with your ass. You know what I mean? Literally, bro. I walked up to Slim Thug and started asking him the dumbest fucking questions. Just
what?
I mean, what did I ask Slim Thug, bro? Like, I asked him, would he rather come down or would he rather come down or would he rather come through? Like, which one does he prefer to do more? Like, you know what I'm saying? For me to ask Slim Thug a question like that and the nigga answer it, or even for me to pick up the phone and call Bun and be like, "Hey, Bun, do you want to be on this next episode? We're gonna shoot. We're gonna go eat hamburger buns." And for that nigga to be like, "Yeah." I was like, damn, for real. So we shot it, and it's a thing. Like, so I feel that's still surprising to me that people are fucking with it. That's it's it's a blessing.
So the 30 days left in 2019.
In 30 days, we will have 2 more episodes. One with Booker T coming out.
Okay, the wrestler.
One with Booker T, the wrestler. And
is he from here?
Yeah, hell yeah, he's super Houston.
What part?
I don't know what part of Houston he's from, but his he has a wrestling league. Shout out to Brad Gilmore, actually, by the way, who's very detrimental. He's like Booker T's right hand man, but Brad Gilmore was a promoter, and he was just a guy around the time we were doing like a heavy Niceguys shit. So he was definitely a plug for us back then. He's actually who plugged us with Booker T. But yeah, Booker T has his own wrestling league in Clear Lake, or like a little bit past Clear Lake, like and it's like a fucking wrestling league.
Yeah,
it's like a whole thing.
I think people are trying to start that.
I mean, they should just let Booker T do it, and then maybe just try to be a part of his league, because his shit. Like we went, I was like, damn, like I when you hear people got a wrestling league, you just like whatever. But then when you go, and I felt like it was me, Les, Georgie, Tubo. We went for the first time, and we was like some kids in the front row, just seeing niggas fake wrestle. It was fun, you know what I mean? And, it was just kind of like, I don't know.
Double.
But the fact that Booker T was even sat down and did an episode with us still blows my mind. I'm like, but it shows you. All things with Todd is an example of, I guess, being able to talk to somebody, or being approachable, or being not a hoe ass nigga and burning bridges.
Yeah,
that's it. If I can get Booker T to sit down with me and fucking talk, I can ask Booker T dumb questions. I asked him, "Can I be a part of Harlem Heat?" Dumb shit, man. So yeah, just I don't know.
So this person that I'm referring to doesn't have to be from Beaumont, right? He could be from U of H. He could be from the southwest side of Houston, Texas, like I am. What bit of advice are you going to give to him to get him to start, right? Being a producer, going to college, not necessarily knowing his direction, just going to college, starting up. What bit of advice are you going to give to him?
I would tell this person to. I mean, once again, I don't mean to sound like the status quo here, to sound like a broken record, but just kind of if you really fuck with what you're doing, like, you know what? Don't second guess yourself. That's what I would tell people. I would tell people, more than likely, your gut feeling that you were feeling the first time is the right way. Not all the time, but just don't second guess yourself, and don't overthink it, right? Because I've seen what happens firsthand when you overthink shit, and these little details that you're worrying about perfecting, no one gives a fuck about them. Okay, like I'm gonna say it again. No one gives a fuck about the details. because that's the reason that's taking your project
so long
to come out. And then when you hear it, or when you see it, or when you go to it, I mean, it's literally, it's just like, dog. I mean, you watching niggas just don't overthink it, don't second guess yourself. That's what I would tell them, man. And because in 2019, you're already gonna do what you want to do anyways. You know what I'm saying? Like, niggas ain't going to school like that, so I ain't even got to tell you follow your dream. Niggas is doing that regardless. So what I would tell niggas is, because there's been an influx of people following their dreams and their hearts. Cool. Just don't second guess yourself and don't bite other people's shit.
Yeah.
Just be creative, man. There's a lot of fucking. You know what? Man.
Take the gloves off, T.O. Double. Take the gloves off. Stop playing.
Nah, man.
You trying to sugarcoat it. Stop playing.
Nah, listen, man. I'm just thinking about.
I'm just being honest. People probably not gonna make it to the end of this episode. It's about a minute. It's about an hour, and look. But for me, I'm
gonna hit that hole again.
Keep going. Keep going.
Nah, I just it's a artist who shall remain unnamed that put out a project called Gran Turismo recently.
Now they're not unnamed because I'm gonna look up Gran Turismo
after an artist that I work closely with released an album called Gran Turismo years ago.
Oh wow!
That artist was on this said artist's label, and it's just Let's just cut that part out. Oh no, there's also an album called Prestige Worldwide. Basically, like this nigga.
Houston, what up,
niggas
baby?
Stop biting niggas, dog. Fuck.
Listen,
currency. Fuck. Just say it. Stop biting less shit, nigga. Goddamn. So many ideas out there.
Listen, I want to take the time to say happy birthday to my my nephew, my godson, Davin Clark.
How old is he?
Man, Davin was born 2008. He'll be no, I'm tripping. I don't want to quote. This is Alexis's first son.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
What's up, Alexis?
Yeah. I want to say shout out to him. Happy birthday to him. His birthday is on the 3rd.
Okay.
I want to say happy birthday to my brother, Terry Dike. His birthday is on the 5th. And I want to say happy birthday to
Jay-Z.
No, Jay-Z was born on the 4th. See that? He a J fan, but don't know when he was born.
Nigga, I'm just saying in general.
Listen. I want to say happy birthday to my brother, Terry Dike. And I want to say happy birthday to my brother, Jonathan Rideau. He was born on the 6th of December. Keep going.
And Hov was also born on the 6th.
On the 4th. These niggas ain't Hope's fans, man.
No, tripping, dog.
These niggas ain't Hope fans,
Oh, relax,
man.
nigga. I'll go. Relax.
You're right.
Relax.
You might beat me on the lyrics, but listen.
relax.
Nas is the greatest all time. Nas the greatest all time.
Nigga, do not do that, bro, because you'll
Nas
open
the
up
greatest
a whole
all
other
time.
can of worms right now.
We don't even have time.
We literally do not have time to compare how
We're going to bring you on the podcast
how much
again.
better Reasonable Doubt was than the Illmatic.
Was it?
How?
Was it?
Anyways.
Was it?
Production.
Oh.
Anyways.
He only had the best producers in the world.
Good thing they weren't making the best. Oh, but you talking about Jay-Z? Oh, yeah. Well,
I'm not even going to disrespect Jay because I love Jay.
Yeah, I mean,
Here we go. Back to 2008,
Oh, my God.
7, 8, 9, 10, 6.
Oh, my God.
Here we are. Me and my boy just going back and forth with rap music.
Jay-Z and Nas. Jesus Christ.
Used to keep us up at night, and we're not getting paid for it.
Could you imagine if I was getting paid? Honestly, if we were getting paid for all the late night.
Who do you think would have made more money if we were getting paid, me or you, versus Nas and Jay-Z?
Who's making more money now than Nas and Jay-Z?
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who's making more money because Nas is making money, though.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody is.
Look at him.
The world.
Look at him. Everybody's making money.
Oh, you know I gotta hate on Nas a little bit, just because I.
But my man, listen, man, T.O. Double, man, you know, it's nothing but love for you,
bro. I appreciate.
And I don't even think we've scratched the surface.
Nah, bro, it's
right?
still a lot, man.
But
we could literally sit here and talk for 8 hours on.
Oh,
for
stuff. Sure,
we
for sure,
had to
for sure.
Kind of fast forward through a lot of shit, but and honestly, dog, we didn't even because have we got to talk about the Grussell Diaries? Have we got to talk about like we didn't even really scratch the surface on the poetry. He didn't even tell you how he got the Mitsubishi with the. Did he tell you?
Oh, come on, man.
No, we didn't talk about the mirror tint. We didn't talk about the.
Listen, was I the only one at the time with mirror tint in 2006, 7? Come on, man. I mean, give me.
I'm thinking, bro. I'm trying to think of other. Like, I didn't see that too many other places, bro. Because you went to Florida and you came back with that. I'll never forget. Like you hit your boy. You was like, you just bought a car. You just bought a whole car. I remember. I was like, this nigga got some good ass credit though.
Fam, listen,
like, to be able to make.
I had 2 jobs at the time.
Yeah, bro, you went to dog. So look,
I had 2 jobs.
I touched on it earlier because enough about me. Let's talk about this guy right here.
Listen, man. Oh man,
because look. Like
we about an hour in, hour and 15, 20 minutes in. Man.
I said it earlier, but JR was not only, like I said, one of the most passionate niggas, but this nigga got to go to Disney World for a program. Like his junior year or something.
Here he goes. See, he ain't talked in the mic all episode. Now he's in the mic. Go ahead.
So JR, we wish him well. He's off to Florida for some months, and he's living in Florida. This Disney World.
Here he go.
This nigga came back sounding like motherfucking Murder Mook. Like if New York could have an accent. This nigga came back with the New York accent from Florida. His voice sounded like Timberland's.
Timberland.
This nigga. No.
I appreciate it.
No, not Timberland from Timberland McGoo, like the literal Timberland boot. If the Timberland boot could have a voice, like that's what this nigga's voice sounded like.
Listen, man. Listen. All that aside, okay.
Nah, man, JR, you a hardworking nigga, dog. Don't even downplay it, bro. Don't even downplay it. Hey, I have a picture that I'm gonna send for you to post on this podcast. It was a picture that we took in the Commons. I had an afro.
Shit,
I had an afro.
I was thinking. Remember that time I was like, "Who can grow their hair out the fastest?"
Hey, real quick. So, I said long hair.
Houston, what up?
I said long hair Todd earlier. Literally. The fucking reason I even grew my hair to begin with is because this nigga JR, he was like, you see I'm rubbing my head right now? Like, I'm like, it's still here.
I'm brushing my.
This nigga said, hey, I can grow if we don't get a haircut, to this day, I can grow my shit will be higher than yours, bro.
Shit.
Fast forward to 6 months, my nigga, I'm flourishing, bro.
He had braids and I'm
this
still.
Nigga JR was struggling, but my whole long hair situation was based off of a bet with JR. That's the only fucking reason I have my hair long is because That's why I said, man, this dude is way more influential and pivotal to a lot of these successful people in Houston than you think. I guarantee you. JR is JR is a point of contact and definitely a person of interest to a lot of your favorite Houston creatives and all that. I guarantee you.
Listen, I'm just trying to be there so I can put my niggas on.
Like, I mean,
that's it.
You introduced, like, even think about the way you introduced.
Salud. Bless you. Bless you.
Think about the way you introduced us to Leland. You were just like, you knew the potential there, and you weren't not gonna let that happen.
Yeah.
You've done that with so many motherfucking people in Houston, bro. Like, you don't even get it. So
listen,
I'm just giving you your flowers on you just connecting.
I appreciate it.
Because if it wasn't for this man, guarantee you, I wouldn't have met half the niggas I know. I wouldn't have been in that environment. I wouldn't have been. It just wouldn't have been. It would have been different. Like, trajectory would have been different. So.
Listen, we gotta come back on the podcast in 2020
for sure,
and we've got to just dive deeper.
Man, hopefully
be explicit about things with Todd. Listen, I'm saying that right now. We're gonna have another episode in 2020.
Yeah.
Today's December the 1st, 2019. Right, we got 30 days left in 2019. We're gonna have another episode with Things with Todd with my boy T.O. Double, in 2020. So be looking out for it. Go
It's
ahead.
gonna be cool. And then when I come, I'm gonna be like doing a bunch of shameless plugs on my album that I'm gonna be dropping.
Of course. This is what it's for.
Yeah, but you know, in the meantime, I will say that Things with Todd is a show.
Where can we catch it at?
On YouTube. Well, actually, me and Joey's actually working on the website right now as we speak.
Okay.
So we're trying to. I ideally want to have the website launched Friday for Black Friday. But,
Okay.
So we're gonna try to have it launched sometime next week.
Okay.
Gonna have the episodes. all
Listen,
there.
T.O. Double. Listen, T.O. Double. Is it the same next week that people just be randomly saying just to throw out there? Or
Absolutely.
you gonna have it? Okay.
It's the same next
I'm
week.
gonna leave it
People
there.
The people just throw out.
Okay.
Nah, I'm fucking with you. That's a good question. No. Like you said, like this is because everything's done. So like,
Yeah.
that's my thing. Like, so I'm as a person that just gave the nigga advice on not overthinking and second guess yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That is all I fucking do. So that is what we're trying not to do. The shit's been done. Everything's done.
Yeah.
We just like to fine comb it some more with a little fine comb and fine comb it again and then fine comb it again and then fine comb it again. So
Yeah.
literally, I'm a victim of the advice that I'm giving you.
Yeah.
So yeah, but next week, the real next week, the real one. You know what? I guarantee it. I guarantee 2 episodes will be out. I guess when this podcast will be out.
This episode drops Tuesday, December the 3rd.
Okay.
2019 at 6 p.m. Central
The episodes will
Standard
be
Time.
out. The episodes will be out Thursday.
The 5th.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to my middle brother Terry Dike.
Happy birthday, Terry.
Okay. All right.
All right.
So
I want you to hold me to that too, Jared.
I'm gonna hold you to it. I'm gonna text you.
I know you are.
Okay. You know I am.
I know. Like,
okay.
One thing about JR is this, man. I like JR hit me up for a while, and pardon me. I'm so, and it's not even that I'm hard to get in touch to, bro. Sometimes I'll just be sitting looking at the phone while it be ringing. I'll just be so.
I know you do.
I
said I know this dude sees me calling him,
and it has,
Answer
and you know the crazy
phone.
thing, it literally has nothing to do with you as you.
Yeah.
They got my mom. It's just so, and this is the thing I'm just working on, bro. Like I'm gonna do better with that shit.
Yeah.
Bro. Thanks, bro. Just thanks for having me, bro. Thanks for the beers.
Listen, of course.
Thanks for the Gatorade.
I called this man and said, "Listen, they're not paying. Okay, sorry, they're not paying.
hell
okay,
yeah. Yeah.
and neither are the beers. But I had to get my man beers that he wanted to drink. Listen, this is what I will say in the end. This podcast.
I was
is all
hoping
about-
you was gonna give me one of those. I'm looking at all
okay.
these right here, and then
Okay.
I saw that there, and I didn't know. I was like, I hope that's my shirt. So
This podcast is all about bringing the creatives out and talking about their journeys. But what I will give you, lastly, is an episode T-shirt for you,
I
man.
appreciate it, dog.
I appreciate you for coming on. Listen, I didn't know where I wanted to go from 40, but I know I had to get you on before 2019 ended.
Man,
And
we here, dog.
in 2020, we'll be on again.
And you know what? In 2020, we'll have some more old memories and some more new shit to talk about. And I think I'll be swoller. Probably when it happens, because I'm not gonna get fat again. I'm not going back.
Houston, Texas, man. Shout out to my nephew, Davin Rideau. Shout out to my brother-in-law, Jonathan Rideau. Shout out to my brother, Terry Dike. Houston, Texas, I do what I do for myself to prove that I can do it for others. Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. We're out.
Yo, it feel like 95. Sachi on my body. Biggie, jigger, puffy. All that ballin' is a hobby. And I'm wildin' in my wallies. And them valleys, no Pilates. More way, get you more way. Nah, that's the Spumante. My crystal ball, I see crystal. I crystal y'all with that. I saw the sign like Ace of Spades. That Ace of Spades get cracked me like cheers to the money guys. The Willie niggas who buy them bottles. And then they spill these liquors. Yo, salute my dude. I see you, dawg. 5 bottles, 1 dick. Why I need 2 bras? I know I'm out of line, but love is shower time. You know it rose rain when your cloud is 9. Get off that high ass hussy. This a private party. Been on my dick too long. Your breath on private party. You gon' be nice and naughty. These walls on priceless Audi. This the upper crust. Fuck is up. Over and done. Overdose. Guess we did it again. Sipping with no remorse. We gon' do it again, and we